takes the saucepan down from over the stove. It gleams with the greasy ghosts of forgotten meals who flick their smoky tongues across every crumb that spits and sizzles on the hot cast iron. The secret, he once told me, is to scrub it out with salt and never, ever use soap. As he reaches, the sleeve of his wood stove flannel shirt slides back to reveal 1, 2, 3 burn scars where the tender flesh under his wrists met the scarlet snakes that coil and hiss on the roofs of ovens, leaving bite marks like brands marching down his forearms, the stripes of a crosswalk. 1, 2, 3. The secret, he once told me, is never to wait for the light to turn green. Garlic's shy white flesh crumbles under the sure impossible weight of his knife, a flash of steel and a flick of the wrist, and you'd think that he was God and his most perfect creatures go to pieces under his touch. Once he taught me the secret to mincing perfect garlic, but I've never been able to master it. But his knife moves so beautifully with the absolute certainty of historical tides and forces of nature, and he is a god. He is fire and destruction and knife, but also birth, creation, the soil he heaps over the frightened roots of young vegetable plants that he coaxes out of the earth and onto the chopping board where they die and are reborn in the flame. The secret, he once told me, is that the only God worth believing in lives in the dirt under your nails.
What?
He cooks without recipes. The fossils of meals vary between the calluses on his fingers, remembers everything he has ever eaten, because food is remembering. Food is learning to speak English but singing the motherland in goulash and paprikash and matzo balls that melt like memory on your tongue. The secret, he once told me, is a little bit of ginger, just like Grandma made them. He cooks his love, fills the house with the richness of fatherhood and pride, guides my hands on the skillet, the breadboard, the knife, buries his fossils beneath my skin until they become my bones that crackle and melt as I cook the love that needs no recipe. He told me that the yeast in my hands was alive, that garlic cooks faster than onion and butter makes sauces that taste like silk. He told me that chocolate milk came from brown cows, and I believed him with all my soul. And oh, how I wanted to believe when he told me that home lived in the pockets of air that nestle between my bones. He told me to taste everything once, to carry cups in my eyes and salt in my palms and greasy cast iron in my spine. The secret, he once told me, is that one day I will cook just like him.